Hello everyone, day 3 of this year's Invictus. Today we have Aegis. I will again walk around and tell you what I think about the ships, and we have this very laggy, stuttering expo hall. We have the Saber, normal Saber, and Saber Comet. I love the Saber so much, she was my first love in Star Citizen. Since 3.14, Saber is in a not good spot, and right now she is at best mediocre, but you can get a much better ship for much less money. Yeah, Saber really needs some love. And Saber is a stealth ship. If you know one thing about stealth is that visible fan plates are poison for stealth. And you don't want to have any obstructions in front of your engine unless you have obstructions to hide your fan plates. So this is the worst of both worlds. And we have the Raven. If someone didn't get a Raven, now you can have one. Well, it's a Firebird, but it's pretty much the same thing. Instead of EMP, she has missiles. 12 size 3 missiles. And we got Retaliator. Retaliator got her gold standard recently, and with some very nice things. Cockpit is now a lot smoother. Instead of 9 MFDs all over the place, we have 4 MFDs, and again we have some micro stuttering. And Retaliator comes with modularity, our first modularity in the game. Right now we have torpedo modules, cargo modules, and unladen modules. CHG gave Retaliator rework but didn't address any of the issues. We have the same layout with double corridors that waste space. My guess is CHG does this so our Michelin men, players and NPCs can get by each other. However, 2 years ago CHG showed a video about NPCs squeezing by each other. Is anyone still working on this, Chris, or was this just made for an ISC? Escape pods are still on the second level. Good luck to the guys in the back in the turrets making it to escape pods. Instead of 2 size 2 shields, she has now 6 size 2 shields, because CRG always say, we cannot get a size 3 shield into Retaliator, which I find hard to believe, because Redeemer, a much smaller ship, has 2 size 3 shields. We have no armor lockers, we have old standardized weapon lockers, no kitchen corner and no first aid station. This gold rework looks like totally botched together. Seriously, it looks like an intern worked on it for like 2 days. We have Vanguards, Harbinger, Warden, Sentinel and Hoplite. I like the Vanguards a lot. Right now they are in okay spot. Nothing spectacular, not too bad. Let's say mediocre. But if you want a heavy fighter, those are surely good choices. In 3.6 there was a big Vanguard rework, but CHG once again didn't address any of the issues the community brought up. For example, you still have this silly cockpit view with this big fat bar right in your face, especially when you're using head tracking devices like Toby or Track IR. Still, I like the Vanguards. Nice ships. Redeemer, the ship that won the next great Starship contest. For once, it's not CRG's fault. She has those silly nutcracker engines because the guys designed her that way. Redeemer is in a very bad spot, way too sluggish for her mass. Yogi said, yeah, we cannot make her more agile because she has so many shields and so much firepower. First, you shouldn't use agility as some kind of balancing nerve hammer. You should look at mass distribution and shape. Second, no one asked for 2 size 3 shields in a Redeemer. I think most people would be fine with 2 size 2 shields or maybe 1 size 3 shield. And this firepower is only there with at least 3 people on board. What would you prefer, 1 Redeemer or 3 Vanguards, 3 Lightnings, or a combination of this? I would always prefer 3 Vanguards, 3 Lightnings, unless space on a ship is a problem, let's say on a carrier, but we don't have this yet. Redeemer is in a very, very sad spot. And we have Avengers, the Penguins. Titan is a very good starter ship. Right now, CRG is normalizing most ship stats like speed and agility, As a consequence, Avenger is one of the best PvP ships right now. You cannot make this up. Of course, Avenger shouldn't be a top PvP ship, but she is. Remember, in 3.14, CRG normalized most weapon and component stats to give us better stats. So far, 3 years later, nothing materialized, so I wonder when we are getting the new ship stats like speed, agility. Don't get your hope up, it will be anytime soon. So right now, if you want to have a very good PvP fighter, get an Avenger, which is really silly, because Avenger shouldn't be so good at PvP. She has cargo, she has a bird, lots of wasted mass and space. But yeah, this is CRG. Everything goes. Of course, CRG will adjust those numbers, and I guess in the future, Avengers won't be top PvP fighters anymore. Right now they are, so you might just get a Titan. And we have Eclipse, the stealth torpedo bomber. Where do I start? She is way too expensive for what she does. She can carry 3 size 9 torpedoes and shouldn't cost that much. Cockpit view is one of the worst cockpit view in any ships. There's no reason for this. Stealth does not require a bad cockpit view, not in real life. Look at B2, look at F22, F35, and not in the game, look at the Saber. And she doesn't really have a role right now. Torpedoes are not in a good spot, and if she cannot use her torpedoes, she is pretty much useless. Gladius, right now she's still in a good spot. Not one of the top PvP fighters, but she does alright. I always liked the Gladius. Gladius was one of my first ships in the game. Hammerhead. Where do I start? We have this silly hole in the neck that doesn't offer you anything, but this hole increases surface area that needs to be armored. This hole could be a room instead, for example an armory, something this ship doesn't have. A while ago, CRG devs were asked, why does she have this hole in the neck? Answer was, because it looked cool. Second problem, the captain has no tools whatsoever to get any tactical awareness. Where are the good guys? Where are the bad guys? Where should I concentrate my fire? Nothing. All he has is a 2D radar screen, and he can try to look out of the window. Of course, he wouldn't see much. Such a ship needs some kind of information gathering tool, something like a holocloak. Some ships actually have a holocloak. To this day, CRG never showed how a holocloak is supposed to work. Her firepower comes from her 6 turrets with 4 size 4 guns each. Right now, turrets are again in a very sad spot. Not easy to shoot down small and agile fighters. Exactly the thing Hammerhead should be good at. Hammerhead is supposed to protect your ships against small and agile fighters. Something she cannot do. Another ship that really needs a lot of help. Vulcan, her role is to repair and refuel other ships, and she is using drones for this. Drones are not in the game, and I don't think that CRG has started to work on drones, so I guess we won't see Vulcan anytime soon. Nautilus, a ship that relies on mine laying. Mine laying in a 3D environment is something that just doesn't mix in my opinion. Yes, some of those mines can move in theory, but CRG hasn't even started to work on them, and we have very bad turret placement. You have 2 turrets at the side that cannot shoot to the rear. Only thing protecting the rear is a missile turret. Not a good design, not a good ship. This was day 3. I hope you found this interesting and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Flank speed. Oh, did it work? Okay, I pushed flicker inside the prices using a trolley. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.